Hey, tonight is night 8 of a nighttime devotional series I'm doing, where I'm inviting you to read Psalm 119 with me before bed. And if this is the first video of the series that you're seeing, you may be thinking, how are we about to read Psalm 119 right now? That's the longest chapter in the Bible. Don't worry, we're not reading the whole thing right now. What this series looks like is each night I'm reading one of the 8 first sections in Psalm 119. Because Psalm 119, while it's the longest chapter in the Bible, is actually divided up into 22 sections that are all exactly 8 verses long. The perfect amount to read for a nighttime devotional. And so each night I'm reading one of these 8 verse sections, and then sharing what I want to be thinking about as I go to sleep. And if you're joining me in this series and reading Psalm 119 as well, I would love for you to share what you want to be thinking about as well. You can let me know in the comments. And I'm doing this series because reading my Bible at night, specifically reading Psalms, is something that's brought me so much peace and goodness, and it helps me to have peace before I go to sleep at night. And so I wanted to do this series to invite others to join me in this habit, so that we can all get in God's Word together and experience that peace together. And so if you want to join me in reading Psalm 119 and in this nighttime devotional series, I would love that. Tonight is night 8, so we're reading the 8th section of Psalm 119, which is verses 57 through 64. They say, "You are my portion, Lord. I have promised to obey your words. I have sought your face with all my heart. Be gracious to me according to your promise. I have considered my ways and have turned my steps to your statutes. I will hasten and not delay to obey your commands. Though the wicked bind me with ropes, I will not forget your law. At midnight, I rise to give you thanks for your righteous laws. I am a friend to all who fear you, to all who follow your precepts. The earth is filled with your love, Lord. Teach me your decrees." And what stood out to me and what I want to be thinking about as I go to sleep tonight are those words in verse 62. At midnight, I rise to give you thanks. And this stood out to me because a while ago, I was reading a devotional at night. It was a Joyce Meyer devotional, and in it she was talking about the power of thankfulness at the end of the day and before we go to sleep. And after reading this, I started trying to practice thankfulness at night, whether that was by keeping a thankful list or by just talking to God and thanking Him. And I found that by doing this, it not only brought me peace and goodness, but it made me aware of the ways that God was working in my life and of all the things that He was doing for me. And I was able to remember to thank Him. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget to be thankful, and I'll pray and ask God for things, and then He'll answer, and then I'll forget to thank Him for answering. What I found for me is I try to be intentional about being thankful at night, and sometimes I still forget to. When I have this focus on thankfulness at night, it helps me to think about all the good things that God has given me, and that He's done for me. It gets my mind thinking about good things, and it's another way that I can have peace before I go to sleep. And this is what I want to be thinking about as I go to sleep tonight. If you're reading Psalm 119 with me, I'd love to know what stood out to you and what you want to be thinking about as you go to sleep tonight. You can let me know in the comments. And if you want to join me in this series, I'll be doing this nighttime devotional series for 22 nights, as there are 22 8 verse sections in Psalm 119. So if you want to join me in this nighttime devotional series, I would love that. Thanks so much for joining me for tonight's video. Come back tomorrow night for night 9, where we'll look at the next 8 verse section of Psalm 119.